this is Jo from Maths Tutor Me. Today we're going to do some challenge questions from our data analysis topic. Now, these questions aren't your typical questions. They're not exactly like the ones that we've just done. They're for those of you out there that like to know how these things can tie together. Maybe you want to challenge yourself a little bit to see how hard a question you can do at this stage. So it's just to have a sneak peek at some of the trickier things that you can do. So I just have a couple of questions. Here's question number 1, where we have a stem and leaf plot. It says consider the data in the stem and leaf plot, and it wants us to organize the data into a frequency distribution table using a class size of 10, including the CC and the F times CC columns. Okay, so this is a bit unusual. Don't normally have to change stem and leaf plots into frequency distribution tables. So I'm going to need a few columns here. So our first column is going to have to be our class, because it says a class size of 10. So we need a class. And a class size of 10 is how the stem and leaf plot is organized. So this first group is from 30 to 39. That's a group of 10. And then the next one is 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79. If we have a class, we also need the class center, which is finding the middle of these numbers. So we know how to do that. 30 plus 39, divide that by 2, which is our 34.5. So completing the rest of these, we'll get 44.5, 54.5, 64.5, and 74.5. After the CC column, we normally have a tally. Now that's just how many numbers do I have in the 30s? Well, I have 3. How many are in the 40s? There's 4. How many are in the 50s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 3 in the 70s. Which of course means when I do frequency, I'm adding those up. 3, 4, 7, 6, 3. And my last space here is for my F times CC column. All right, let's calculate that. Frequency times the CC. So it's 3 times by 34.5, which is 103.5. 4 times by 44.5, 178. 7 times 54.5, 381.5. 6 times 64.5, 387, and 3 times 74.5, 223.5. Now, often with these tables, we usually need to do totals down at the bottom. So I need to total up the frequency. 3 plus 4 plus 7 plus 6 plus 3 is 23, and adding up my F times CC column, 103.5 plus 178 plus 381.5 plus 387 plus 223.5 equals 1273.5. All right. So now, from that, we want to do a few things. We want to find the median of the data. Now, if we're finding the median from our table, we're only going to be able to find which class it's in. If we actually want an accurate median, we will need to do that from our stem and leaf plot. So we know that there is 23 numbers in our stem and leaf, or in our table here. So to find the middle of 23 numbers, we add 1 to get 24, and we halve 24, which is 12. So from the beginning, the first number, I'm going to count through and find the 12th number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is this one. So the median is not just 5, it's 55. The median is 55. Finding the mean, well, I could do that from the stem and leaf, adding them all up one by one, which would give me the accurate mean. But I will, since we've gone to all the effort to find these, we might find the approximate mean for this one. The mean is approximately equal to 1273.5 over 23. So 1273.5 divided by 23, which is 55.4. All right, so now we can draw a frequency histogram and polygon of the data. I've set it all up here. Got class centers across the bottom, frequencies up the side. So 34.5 for the class center, we have a frequency of 3. So this we have done many times in our previous lessons, so this should be fairly straightforward, hopefully. Uh, 44.5, we have a frequency of 4. 54 has a frequency of 7. 64 is a frequency of 6. And 74 is a frequency of 3. All right, then to do the polygon, crosses in the center and down the bottom and at the beginning, join them all up. And that's it. Okay, on the next page, I have a couple more questions to try. Question 2, just a short one, but might make you think a little bit. What score could you add to the data below in order to have a minimum score of 4 and a range of 17? Well, a minimum score of 4 we already have. Here is 4, it's the lowest number that we have in this data here. If we want a range of 17, means I need a number that is 17 bigger than 4. So all I have to do is take the 4, add on the 17, which gives me 21. So 21 is the score that we would have to add to have a range of 17 in that data. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. Let's have a look at question 3. A basketball team has played 5 games and has scored an average of 45 points per game. How many points would they need to score on the next game in order to increase the average to 48 points? Now to do this, I like to do a little equation. So hopefully you remember your equation skills. So what I'm going to do is if we multiply the 5 games that have already been played, if we go 5 times 45, that will tell us how many points they've scored all together in all the games they've played so far. So 45 times 5, that's the points they've scored so far. But we want to add on one more game, okay? We don't know the number of points that they're going to score in this last game, so I'm just going to call it P. P for points. How many points do they need to get? So the old points plus the new points, we want to average that. Now, we started with 5 games. We've added on an extra game. So I need to divide that by 6 now to make it an average. So all my points added together, divided by 6, I want that to give me an average of 48. That's what we're trying to get. Okay, so I need to solve this equation. Now, first of all, let's make this nicer. 45 times 5 is 225. Okay, plus P over 6 is equal to 48. Okay, so to solve this equation, there's just 2 numbers that I need to move away from this P. So the first number to move is this 6 here because it's impacting on both of these. So the opposite of dividing by 6 is to times by 6. to get rid of that. That will leave me with 225 plus P is equal to 48 times 6. What's that? 288. Okay, now I still have this number to move away from the P. Now I do the opposite again. This is an addition, so the opposite of adding is to subtract. Well, I should say this is a positive 225. I want to subtract 225. Subtract 225. So P is all by itself now. And if I subtract these, so 288 minus 225, I get 63. So they would need to score 63 points on their next game, on their sixth game, in order to increase their average to 48 points. All right, question 4. Find a set of 5 scores where the mean, median, and mode are all equal to 5. Now there's quite a few options you could have here for an answer. In order for there to be a median of 5, that means the middle number has to be 5. Okay? Now I only have 5 scores, so I need 2 numbers on this side and 2 numbers on that side. Now, if we wanted to be really boring, we could just say 5, 5, 5, 5. So that's got a mean, median, and mode, all 5. Okay, that's pretty boring. Let's try another option. Okay, what I need is to keep it balanced in order to keep my mean at 5. Each of these numbers as I go out, this set and then this set, would need to add to give 10. Okay, because these two numbers, the average of the 2 numbers to keep it 5 needs to be add to give 10 to give me an average of 5. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So these 2 numbers I need a total of 10. So I could make this a 4 and a 6. I could make this one another set of numbers that add to give 10. I could make it a 1 and a 9, as long as I'm putting smaller numbers going this way, bigger numbers going that way, keeping them in order. My median is 5 in the middle. My mean is going to be 5. But I don't actually have a mode for that one, do I? My mode is not 5. Okay, so I need more than 1 5 in order for that to work. Okay, so we can't actually have this one. Let's try it again. To have a mode of 5, I'm going to have more than 1 5, aren't I? So I'm going to have to put another 5 here. But to keep that as an average of 5, I'm going to have to put another 5 there. These numbers, though, I'm free to do what I want. I could put a 2 and an 8, as long as they add to give 10. Okay, I could have 5, 5, 5 in the middle to get my mode of 5 and my median of 5. I could have a 1 and a 9. 5, 5, 5 in the middle. I could have a 4 and a 6, or a 7 and a 3, or have I tried them all yet? A 2 and an 8, yes, I've done that. Okay, so you get the idea. There's lots of different options that you can have. As long as that 5 is staying in the middle, we need more than one of them in order to make our mode equal to 5. And if we keep our numbers, our pairs here, adding to 10, we're going to make sure that our mean stays at 5 as well. Okay, that's the end of our little challenge section today and the end of our topic on data analysis. So we'll be starting a new topic next time. Join me then. Bye.